The same rules that are being applied in World Rugby competition. So first of all, the amount of points that were between the two teams that are first ranked. On the second point is that there is a difference in points between the matches. The third is the amount of red cards. It's more than fair enough that we have this rule. After, if this is still the same for both teams, then there we will look at the difference in points within the group, not only between the games. And after that, it's a point scored in the group, try scored in the group, and if still it's equal, then we have another match. We have a test match. But I have the feeling that La Hulpe is not really panicking. They're coping the pressure from Hilversum, and they're a little bit waiting for their moment in the game. Let's hope that we see this moment. Hey! Hey! Of scrums, it's been quite equal. We didn't have so much scrum today. They're building. They're building. They lost the ball. They lost the ball. So Hilversum is looking for a counter attack. Number 11 is. No, I think Coupe, the second center of La Hulpe, was fast enough to steal the ball, but he didn't release. So in my mind, I don't fully agree with the. It took me some seconds to respond, so I think my answer is pretty clear. I think it's now the time for La Hulpe to create something. It's a perfect time just before halftime. They've been defending very strong. Good line out, building, and it's a more. They're moving, they're coming almost at the second. Keep on moving. Oh, and they lost it. And now it's very. Should have. So what do you think? Hilversum. Well done of Hilversum. Clearance kick from number 12. It's only a few centimeters, I think. It's very, very close. The conditions are really very nice, and they enjoy this Saturday afternoon with a great match of rugby. Good line out of Hilversum. Number 4, contact. Number 9. And Hilversum has his back. Turnovers are, the amount of turnovers is quite high in this game. Nice contact. Nice contact. Well done, well defensive play again. Not panicking, just wait for a moment and steal the ball again. Zero, zero, but if you take a look at what we saw the first 40 minutes, it could have been 20-20 or something like that. Great conclusion. I think that's let's take a short break and we'll get back with you very soon. Good afternoon. We start with apologize for our live viewers. We had some technical problems the first half, but we are back on track. So we can now see the lineup of La Hulpe, which they start with. If I just go on the first row, we have Jérémy Bienfait, number 2, Harold de Moffat, number 3, Michael Nojem, number 4, Olivier Leclerc, number 5, Pierre Isopé, number 6, Mathieu Close, 7, Robin Vazar, 8, Gonzalo Moreno, scrum half Ryan Godsmark, number 10, Antoine Vazar, the wing 11, Naufel El Kadri, the first center Louis de Moffat, second center Bram Coupé, number 14, Grégoire Simeon, and the 15, Alvaro Moreno Marcos. So just to repeat, we're gonna start the second half of this second game of the BeNeCup competition, Michiel. It's still 0-0 on the scoreboard, but as we saw in the first half, there were a lot of opportunities. Oh, it was a very attractive first half that we saw. I think that Hilversum was taking the lead in the attacking opportunities. They had a lot of opportunities, but La Hulpe was very strong on the defense game. They waited for their moment, and they were also pretty dangerous when they could attack. What can you expect? 28-30 to have a very attractive match. I think a lot of spectators, also the teams, the coach, they enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. But it was a quite strange call at the end of the game. We keep on coming back on that one. But for the same amount, then the Monde took the 5 points. But yeah, that's rugby. Number 17, Patrick Willekens, who is coming up, and also number 16, it's Pierre Paul Mapuel. My thoughts on the first half, it was very, very attractive from both sides, and it will, I think it will continue for the coming 40 minutes. I don't know where to put my money on, but Michiel, here's 30 euro I put on the table. So I put now my bet on a good second half. And you? It's a 5-meter scrum. And they try to put a lot of pressure on the number 15 and 11, 14 of Hilversum. But until now, they've been performing very, very consistently and very well. as we mentioned earlier, this is maybe the biggest difference between the style of play between Belgium and Holland. It's in Holland they rather go for every attacking opportunity. The Belgian teams are defending and try to score when they have the opportunity. I think they did very well, La Hulpe. And on my honest opinion, and we have a try. A very big push of Hilversum. If you've seen the scrum before me of Hilversum, I would go for a scrum again. You're only 5 meters away from a try line. Mentally, you are a little bit in the advantage, Hilversum, so I would go for a scrum. And also, let's hope for a score, eh? Because if we go home with a 0-0 stand, I cannot explain this to my wife. They have been commenting a match which ended in 0-0. So they're preparing both teams. Thanks, Michiel. I will think of you as my assistant coach. This can be a very key moment in the game, I think. If Hilversum can make a try now, this will be a change gamer, a game changer. From Hilversum on my mind, but I think we're gonna do it again. You can see that the players are a little bit nervous for this play. going forward. And they I don't think it's a surprise if you see almost 50 minutes now that we're playing. They've been at pressure from Hilversum all the time, and finally they get a score, and also they deserve it, to be honest. This, yeah, I think you saw the number 6 from La Hulpe came out a little bit too early, and that created a gap for the 9 of Hilversum, and they took the opportunity and they scored. So it's great for the game also. We're gonna see another game from now on. I say it's a very nice clubhouse also. It's a very nice accommodation. Um, I can see to the right all the spectators outside enjoying the match, the pitch, and we are enjoying everything. 7-0-0-7. I'm surprised how they will continue in this match. Will they continue on the game plan of the defending game and try to score when they have the opportunity, or should they gonna put the pressure on Hilversum? Well done. Nice, nice break. But he won it again. Number 18, nice one. And we see another. And this is what we expected. They are far more aggressive and attacking, playing straight after they lost the first try yesterday. Maybe too far. I already took it, Nikhil, so. We have a game now. Oh, and it touches the sidebar. Good kick, but just a few centimeters. And now her. Nice play, nice play. They just survived there. They go into the corner, try to get some defenders, and they have another penalty. Especially if you, the first phase is quite on both sides the same level, very nice, very attractive. But it's the second phase always that Hilversum is now taking the lead. They have the offloads. They have more opportunities in the second phase. To have options. It's also in life, Michiel. Always have options.
Sébastien Weygard and Thomas Walgraaf are two new presidents in the Belgian rugby world. The first one is president of the Club of La Hulpe and the other one in Otigny. We met them in the Mandela Stadium in Brussels to try to know a little bit more.
On the field, also before the match, after the match. This is a new competition for them. They like it, and you can feel it that they respect each other in every aspect of the game. Let me take the opportunity also to thank our partners to make this BeNeCup possible. I think Van der Valk Hotels, the Hero from Holland, and also profiting from the Belgian Federation side. Thank you. There's some minutes left here, or minutes, maybe 25 minutes left in this game. I think they will have an answer now. They will start to build up their game because they have to also prove that they are capable of doing this. No, indeed. It's last year they became champion of the Netherlands. They were finalists of the cup in Holland, so you can say that this is almost the strongest team in Holland. knock on a very, very, very. I have the feeling that Hilversum are really getting on track. They are getting into their game. When you saw the result of last week, they won 57 against 7. Okay, at their pitch, but still it was a big difference. In the beginning, I was looking a little bit for um, for the quality of their game, but more and more after 50, 55 minutes, you can see they're pretty strong. Yes, we chose for this competition to have 12 rowing subs. So you are able, as a team, to make 12 changes during the game. It's a new rule that also the top 14 in France and the second division in France are using this year. And in Holland, it's been for some years that they use it now. And it's, I think, also the when we spoke to Belgian coaches, they like this system. 'Both sides. 0-12. Nothing has been decided yet in this game. Sorry for the excuse. It's not nothing is decided yet in this game. Can change pretty quickly, but I think it's time now for La Hulpe to show what they have. What did you eat? Good decision. They have the opportunities to counter-attack, to be very dangerous. This shows a little bit that they're not really 100% into the game. You can see on the face. It's the physical aspect of this game is really getting there now. Oh, good support. It's on the try line. Only a few centimeters from another score. Bad pass, but well taken. Third try of Hilversum. What they've been trying to do in the first half without result is working out for them very good in the second half. You see that from the team of Hilversum, the danger can come from almost any player in the team. Is it first row, second row, the back line? Very solid, for a very solid team. For Hilversum.
Maybe there's still a big 5 minutes in this game. Do you have already a man of the match in your head?
I think the performance of the number 15 of Hilversum was really, really outstanding. The players from La Hulpe, they tried to put pressure on him, but never succeeded. He always took the right decisions. and even more, he was also very dangerous on the attacking side.
Well, we see a penalty for La Hulpe. And I agree with you, Olivier. I think he has been very consistent in this performance today. We saw a couple of breaks from him also in the beginning of the first half, leading from the back. And I think it's a deserved man of the match performance. Next to that, I think collectively La Hulpe has been very strong in defense, but I think they didn't bring enough in attack, which made this game a very tiring game for them. As you know, defense is also more energy draining than attacking, and they haven't had enough ball this game. That's it. And now in these last 5 minutes, they have a big attacking opportunity to get a try on the board and to score the first try in this BeNeCup for La Hulpe. They're going short, going for the driving line out. The number 9 thought he saw a gap, but then he ran onto a very big man.
He was almost eaten that.
Yeah, I think he regrets the decision. And then the number 9 does not agree because the ref said the ball went forward. Number 9 claiming it came off a pink hand.
And this was the opportunity for La Hulpe to go for a score, but unfortunately for them, it went the other way.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it reflects the performance of La Hulpe this game. It has been very solid, very consistent. They have had the opportunities, but it's always the last ball, the last pass, the last contact, where they don't manage to hang on, which gives Hilversum some breathing space.
So again, a scrum, but now on the other side of the pitch. And let's see how. Again, a solid scrum. Nice break of
number 8. And they go they'll attack with the number 15 man of the match performance, and again a huge kick behind
nice
the number 15 of La Hulpe, gaining 80 meters for his team, and now a good chase from the whole team. Good run from La Hulpe, creating some space, linking up with the number 4, the winger out wide, the number 15 back in time.
And this went straight out.
With a kick that went straight out indeed. Good pressure from the number 14 on the fullback. He was under a lot of pressure, needed to take a quick kick. And now again a good position to attack from a line out, just outside of the 22, while we have another substitution, so the number 17 is coming back on for the number 6.
And also on the side for Hilversum, they have 2 changes. Number 7 played a good match.
And I think the crowd would love to see a score from La Hulpe to end this game.
But unfortunately, they lost the line out. And Hilversum is back in control of the ball. Number 10, very good clearance, kick in the center of the court. Let's see how La Hulpe react. Back again. In my mind, it was a knock forward, but
the crowd was not happy there, and then again a very good clearance kick. And this has been the difference. Every time Hilversum made clearance kicks, the ball went out, whereas La Hulpe, it always stayed just in touch. It has been a territory game, Olivier. I think Hilversum has camped 60-70% of the time on the side of La Hulpe, whereas La Hulpe has a lot of work to do in defense. I see you nodding.
I fully agree with you.
You're allowed to disagree, mate.
No, this time I agree. We're becoming now in the last phase of this second BeNeCup game, which now still is in favor of Hilversum. If they want to take the 4 or 5 points, La Hulpe, they need a miracle, I think.
Yeah, indeed, and there's still an opportunity for Hilversum to get the bonus point. So they made 3 tries, 1 more, and they have another 5, and then I think we can say that Hilversum will go through to the final.
This brings us to the topic. Is it going to be a final in Brussels or in Amsterdam? What do you think, Michiel?
I think the way things are going, I don't see which team will stop Hilversum to reach the finals. So then we're going to Group B. So in Group B we have Rock and Dendermonde. Rock won their first game against Umumunu with 32 against 7. So it's the only Belgian team who won the first game. So if they have a win today, they're in a very good position. However, if then the Dendermonde wins against Umumuni, they still have a chance to reach the final as well, depending on the results of Diok.
Which also was a very nice performance of them last week at Dendermonde to take the win of the Belgian champions. So it's possible that we will have a final in Amsterdam, but we'll see. It's too early to...
Means that we need to make plans for the 22nd of September, Olivier.
I already booked transport and accommodation in Brussels and in Amsterdam, just to be sure, Michiel.
Very proactive of your... So we're in the final minutes of this game now. When the game's over, you can still watch the interview with the president of La Hulpe and the president of Rock that we did this week. And we'll play this interview right after the game. And after the interviews, we'll have some interviews with the players with a very, very nice grubber going out just before the flags. So 2 interviews after the game and then some live comments from the players and the coaches.
La Hulpe won their line out, making some meters.
And getting the penalty advantage as well. High tackle on the number 9.
Just penalized.
Yeah, so I think this should be a yellow card. It's not the first high tackle. And this is a pity to see, so it's the medic who went on the pitch. Some frustrations between the teams.
We saw the action. It was a dangerous play. So,
yeah, indeed, and I think it should have been yellow cards. It's a high tackle on the number 9. It's not the first one. It has been a very fair game, but I think referees should punish these type of actions a bit harder. While the ref will have a little chat with the captains.
and as with what we thought, it has been confirmed that the man of the match is number 15 and also the captain of Hilversum. As we said, great game for him. He controlled his teammates, he controlled himself, he controlled the game.
Yeah, great positioning behind his team. Always on the right place to get the ball back. Good clearance kicks and also ball in hand very dangerously. While we see the number 9 going off to the field. Frustrating game for the number 9. Good penalty kick from La Hulpe, with potentially one of the last opportunities of this game.
Physically, it was a tough guy, but in general, a very fair game from both sides.
Exactly, and it's normal. It shows the intention and the passion of the players wanting to win the game. And in the end, when you lose, it's never fun. There's some frustrations, but that's the passion. As a rugby players, you always go on a pitch to win the game. This is a very good line out with the number 12 playing in number 9 now. Going wide to the number 11. Good tackle. Unfortunately, another mistake.
Knock on from La Hulpe. We have another scrum from Hilversum, which they have been, if you look at the whole game, which they've been winning.
Yeah, dominating. The forwards have been very, very dominating. I think they're a bit heavier than La Hulpe, which is giving them the edge into the scrum. And on the sideline, you can see that there's a lot of changes being made. So both teams using the rule to make the changes. More than last week, Dendermonde Diok didn't make that many changes. And here we see them using the rule a lot more. And again, a solid scrum. With a good
Nice
kick, depending on the bounce of the ball, the number 11 is quite lucky. And then bad pass, a lot of pressure.
15 is
Trying to create
well.
some control. And they'll go for the clearance kick again. No, keeps ball in hand. He is alone, linking up. So La Hulpe playing now with nothing to lose. Big tackle from Hilversum again. So this is a very smart pass. And there's a call from the referee. And I think he went for his pocket. So there might be a card. I didn't see what happened, Olivier. I don't know if you saw what happened.
No, unfortunately not. I was looking the other side because there was a counter attack was taking place. But
A straight red card.
Straight red card from number 17 of La Hulpe. Patrick Willekens receives a red card.
So we'll need to watch again what happened there, but it's a straight red card. It means a big error from La Hulpe. Which is a pity because they're a smart little pass from the number 12 on the blind side, creating some space. And now to close the game, La Hulpe will be 14 men against 15. Well, they will need to defend this line out, and so this means that Hilversum has a real shot in taking 5 points back to Hilversum. Going short to number 18. Good defense from La Hulpe, and they go quickly out wide with the number 10 going for the clearance kick. Number 21 needs to rush back. Ball stays in field, linking up with the number 15. Has been very dangerously, but there might overrun. Big pressure on the number 21 after a bad pass from the number 15. Rush defense from La Hulpe, but I think Hilversum manages to take control of the ball. And a charge down and play goes on. There's an advantage
Offside
for
from
the
Hilversum.
Yeah, offside after this kick, and so now they should play quickly. And a line out on the 5 meters. I think after the effort La Hulpe has put into this game, they deserve a score.
I think so, too. They've been the equal of Hilversum in the first half. Second half was clearly better for Hilversum. But if you take a look at the whole match, they deserve a try.
Unfortunately, it was a knockout wound, which means the end of the game, and which means that Hilversum, just like last week, they made 19 points to 0 for La Hulpe. Which means that depending on the score in the other games, the final is not sure yet, but I don't know which team will manage to stop Hilversum going into the finals. Olivier, we saw a great game.
Again, we saw a game with a little bit a lot of nice plays from both sides. They wanted to play rugby. We saw some great actions, but as we said during the game, Hilversum was a little bit sharper, a little bit better in these second phases, committed less faults, and this resulted at a score.
Exactly, a very solid performance from both teams in the first half. We went into the changing room with a score 0-0 after a very solid defensive performance of La Hulpe, and I think what happens was what we expected. They were not able to hang on into the second half. Hilversum had a lot of creativity and created a lot of danger with ball in hand in the second half, and then when the big lads came in, droving over the try line, they were unstoppable. La Hulpe defensively very strong, managed to get a lot of turnovers into the rucks. Unfortunately, ball in hand, I think they didn't bring enough. They reacted very good on the first try, where they started playing and showed glimpse of what they're possible of. So it's a pity that they didn't show more of this, because I think they're a very good team. They're a young team, very solid. I think they will be disappointed after this loss. But I think the BeNeCup again showed its potential to make all participating teams a lot better, because it's a very good competition. All teams playing very aggressively, very good rugby, and I think we enjoyed this game a lot. I hope you did too. As we explained, there will be 2 interviews after the live show, and then you will find us back after the interviews with some interviews and some reactions from coaches and players. Thank you for watching the game. Stay tuned for the interviews, and we hope to see you again after the interviews for the interviews. Olivier, thanks for being here with me again during the show.
My pleasure.
And yeah, next week we'll be there again, and then the 22nd of September we'll see a good final.
We certainly will see a good final. We don't know if it's going to be in Amsterdam or in Brussels, but it will be a nice game of rugby. So also from my side, thank you for joining us, and hope to see or hear you the coming days.
So we'll close here. We'll go over to the interviews, and then we'll see you live after the interviews again for some reactions of coaches and players.
Sébastien Weygardon and Thomas Walgraaf are 2 new presidents in the Belgian rugby world. The first one is president of the club of La Hulpe, and the other one in Otigny. We met them in the Mandela Stadium in Brussels to try to know a little bit more over their clubs and their histories, but also to have their first impressions about the BeNeCup. Sébastien, the club of La Hulpe exists now from 50 years. Can you tell us a little about the history of the club?
The club was founded by a guy coming from Standard in the near Liège, okay, and he comes to live here in La Hulpe, and so he was from England, I believe, or Scotland, I don't remember, but he had a rugby culture that we didn't have. So he comes and he goes to the commune, the city, yes, to ask a field, and he received a field near the tennis of La Hulpe, and he found some guys in the pub.
It was not so easy in the beginning of the club.
No, it was not easy because there was no school for the rugby school for the young players. There was nothing, so only a senior team, and so it was not easy because the field was very bad. We had no infrastructure, no clubhouse, no anything, just a field.
But your club knew one highlight 5 years ago. Can
Yes.
you explain? A new field.
Yes, exactly. The new field, so it's a synthetic field, so plastic, caoutchouc, and so yes, that was the rebirth of the club. We changed everything in the training and in the playing system, and so yes, we start to add more players and with a better game level, and so we begin to go up in the division. So we come back in the second division, and now we are in the first one for a long time, I hope.
And how many members?
For the moment, there is approximately 350 members in the club. It's a good period for the club, yes. And we have a category in old age category, and we have now a ladies team also, and that begin to become a real big team in the club. And so we start this year also handi rugby section. So it will not be a big team, but it's still 10 or 15 yes players more for the club.
And your first team participate to the BeNeCup. Is it important for the club?
It's important to have this kind of match in the beginning of the season, because I don't know. I don't believe we don't want to play the objective to win this BeNeCup, but it's very
Not
important.
this year, but
This year, yeah, for this year, absolutely this year, because we were not correctly prepared to play this kind of game. It was a real discovery for our team. Yes.
what's your program for the next week?
We receive the team of Hilversum, so it will be our first match at home. So this event is very important for us because it's our first match at home for this season, and it's an international match for the BeNeCup. It's more, and our first team didn't lose at home for 18 months now. So it's a big objective and honor question of our team to keep this situation. For this match, it's very important also for our supporters and for the club, because there will be a big party after the match, and the senior organize it a party in the new clubhouse also. So it will be a big day for the club.
Thomas, the club of Ottigny is 40 years old, but from the beginning the focus was put on the young players. Can you explain?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the three founders who started the club in '77 said that if we want to continue the development of the club, we absolutely need a rugby academy. And so from the very beginning, they focused on that. It's also because two of the founders had also sons, and they wanted their son to play rugby. And so that's how we started. And yet today, we have about 300 youth playing in the rugby academy. We have almost 30 volunteers who take care of them. And we try to have kind of a red line to make sure that we know where they start and where we want to bring them, so that they are ready to play at the highest level of the Belgian rugby.
The idea is to keep the young players, and it's the fact now. It's the reality.
Yes, most of them stay with us, but from the beginning of the club, some of them decided to go abroad. They played in South Africa, they played in New Zealand, some of them played in France. The characteristic is that most of them came back, and that really helped the club to go to the next level, because they brought what they learned there, and they really took positions either as a player or as a coach to help the club to reach the level that we have today.
And what about your field? You have a new field or not?
Yes, we do have a new field since about 5 years now, a synthetic field that is absolutely necessary with the size of the club. We have today a little over 400 members, and a grass field cannot sustain that level of use. And so with that synthetic field, it helps us with the number of players who have to be on that field every week.
But you share this field with in your clubhouse with the hockey club.
Yes, actually we don't share the field, because the field of field hockey is completely different than a rugby field. So the hockey club of Le Valanoz has its own 2 fields, but effectively we share the clubhouse and the showers, which from time to time is a little tricky, at least for the showers. For the clubhouse, it's a good, very good synergy. We have a good time with them.
How can the club of Ottignies take profit from a participation to the BeNeCup?
In fact, since always, the Belgian clubs at the highest level have tried to compete against clubs from France, Germany, the Netherlands, but it was just occasional. Here we have a structure. The federation did the same about 10 years ago, I would think, and that really helps to be confronted to players that we don't know, because Belgium is very small. So the players at a certain level know each other. They've played against each other for years when they start at 6 years old. And so to be confronted to other teams with a different type of game. In the Netherlands, most of them are also foreigners. They come from South Africa, so very good level. And that is another challenge, I would say. Our players, at least, when they learned that they would play against 4 Dutch teams, they were very pleased, very excited about it.
And your club was the only Belgian winner for the first match in the BeNeCup. What happened?
Well, I will say maybe a bit of luck, a bit of preparation. I hope we'll be able to do the same next week. That will be a different story. Not saying that Umunemu was not a good team, but they finished 4th of their championship last year. Next week we play against the winner of the championship. That might be a different story. The coaches have already watched the videos. We are trying to find out how we can crack the system and see how we can repeat the same we did last week.
And the public was present?
We had about 200 people watching the game, which is okay for a first game of the season. The holidays are not totally finished. We didn't do a lot of advertising for that game, so we were pleased with that, and I think they had a great game to watch.
And the members of your club are coming to see?
Last week, you mean? Yes, definitely they were there. Yeah, absolutely. Most of them were there. Some of other clubs too, because when you have a game of that level, you oftentimes have people coming from other clubs to watch the game.
Do you have a ladies team?
We had one. Unfortunately, we are not able to repeat that this year.
Why?
Why? Because most of them went to play for the university, and we couldn't keep the team with us. We've tried to associate with the club of Namur, but we were unsuccessful. So now we try to have them practice with us on Wednesday evening because we play touch. So there is no physical contact, and so we can mix the ladies with the men. So we'll see tonight if they come or not, but that's the idea. Unfortunately, we lost the team, yeah.
What do you think about the new committee of the federation?
That's a tricky question. I think they have ambition, and I like that. Very clear ambitions, bringing the Black Devils to the World Cup in 2023. And you need that kind of ambition to really lift up all the other clubs. You need to have a vision. You need to have a clear line, and they are fixing that, both for the men team and for the ladies team. The Bell Sevens goal is to reach the Olympics in 2024, so it can only be beneficial for our sport.
Post-game reactions, we saw a very good game which was won by Hilversum, and I hope you enjoyed the interviews with both presidents, the president of La Hulpe and the president of ROC after the game. We're here live with the captain of Hilversum, who is also our man of the match, Olivier.
Welcome, Jos.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, congratulations with the win of the game. We talk about a little bit later about your personal man of the match award. But first question. What's your general feeling after this game?
I mean, yeah, pretty knackered, pretty tired after that. It was a physical game from the minute 1 to the 80th minute. We knew that coming down here. It's a long bus trip, but we knew it was going to be very physical. And we knew the pitch was quite narrow, so there wasn't a lot of room out wide for us backs. So we knew the forwards really had to step up and try to go through the middle. But yeah, credit to them and to us for going for 80 minutes, and I thought it was a pretty good match in the end.
If we could break up the game, what's your general feeling about the first half?
Yeah, I thought the first half was pretty frustrating for us. I think we created a lot of opportunities but couldn't manage to capitalise on them. We built a lot of pressure, which is what we wanted to do. We had a lot of ball, but like I said, we couldn't capitalise. We didn't score any points, which was really frustrating. But yeah, that's the message at half-time, was to be a little bit more patient and take those opportunities, and we were, and we scored some points in that second half, so it's positive.
Interestingly, during the first half you had 3 opportunities to go for the post.
Yeah.
You didn't, you went for the line out?
Yeah, I think our game plan today was to build the pressure, and I thought we were doing that really well. And we thought if we keep building the pressure, they were going to crack. So that was the decision, to go for the line out, keep the pressure on. But unfortunately, yeah, we didn't capitalise, and but it didn't come clean for us. But like I said, patience in the second half got us through, and we took those opportunities.
Is it the general strategy to go for the line out, build up the pressure and not taking points? Because we have the discussion last week with the captain of Duke. He said the difference between Belgian rugby and rugby in Holland, that's more attacking rugby in the Netherlands, and we try to go more for the tries and less for the points.
Yeah, I think across all clubs in Holland, we love to attack, we love to score tries, and that's the mentality we brought in today. And maybe not the best one. In such a tight match, 0-0 at half-time was pretty tight, so maybe taking the 3 points would have been better for us. But like I said, we love scoring tries, we love to attack, and I thought we were building the pressure really well, and we thought we would capitalise on that, but unfortunately, like I said, we didn't.
What in your mind was the key moment of this match for Hilversum?
I think when we had a few scrums down right on their line, we forced a few penalties out of them, and our forwards really stepped up. I think that changed the whole game for us. We grew in confidence with our scrum. We knew that could be a weapon for us, and so we used it. And yeah, like I said, we got 7 points down there, and we just repeated what we did, and it came out with a few more points in the end. So I thought that was the turning moment.
What was the discussion during halftime? You go in, you have been dominating for a first half, and then the score is still 0-0.
Yeah, like I said, the message at halftime was we got to be patient. In that first half, we threw a few 50-50s because we were getting a bit excited. So the message was to be patient, and the points will come. And it looked after themselves in the end. And yeah, we scored points, so pretty happy.
The last week you had a first game of this BeNeCup competition against Soigny. If you compare both matches, do you see already an improvement from your side?
Yeah, I think last week our performance was really good. Obviously, we took all of our opportunities. I don't think the score really reflected how the opposition played. But the difference was from us today, from last week, is we took our opportunities last week. This week we let it slip a few times, and it showed in the first half. We had a lot of possession but couldn't capitalise, couldn't get any points. But I mean, credit to our boys, we stuck at it for 80 minutes today and we came out on top, so really happy with the boys.
We're two games down in this BeNeCup. What do you think of the concept?
Oh, I think it's really good for both Belgian rugby and Dutch rugby. Teams are playing at a higher level for longer, and for Dutch teams that's what we really need, especially for the international boys. But awesome start to the season. Obviously our goal is to win the BeNeCup. We've got one more game next week, a pool play. If we can win that, we'll go through to the final. But yeah, next job is to turn up next week and put some and try to win against Goy.
Because next week you will play against Goy, which will be a very tight game also, I think.
Of course, I mean we played them in the final last year and they beat us. So it's going to be a really tight match, and we're really looking forward to it. And I'm sure they're going to get up for it as well. But that's why we play rugby. We want to be in those contests. We want to be playing those type of games. And so, yeah, as a team, we're really looking forward to it.
You have the first game in this BeNeCup, third game. Where would you like to see the team improve?
Yeah, I mean, like today, I think we need to really take those opportunities. We work hard as a team to create them. The forwards work hard up front, the backs are working hard out wide. And against a team like Goy, we can't afford to not take those opportunities when they come.
Just make sure that this doesn't fall down.
Because there won't be many opportunities, so we have to really take it. But just to be physical up front with the forwards and spread it and be accurate out wide with the backs, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
You're the captain of Hilversum today. You had a great team performance, but also personally, you won the reward of man of the match. I think it was more than deserved. Do you think it inspires also the other teammates if you perform as a captain?
I mean, yeah, as a captain, you try to lead from the front, but I can't do anything without my other 14
More from the
players
back
on the field,
in your case.
So I think that, yeah, my success today was based around the boys' performance, and I had a bit of space out wide, and that's because our forwards up front really took it hard, tried to go through the middle, which drew the defence in, and we had the space out wide for the likes of our back three to attack.
Let's go to the domestic competition. You have been dominating with Hilversum the last couple of years. What are the expectations for this season?
I mean, yeah, we're in it to win it. We do have high expectations of the club, but that's, like I said, that's what we want to do, and we really thrive as a team to be in those moments and capitalise and perform. Obviously, last year we didn't quite win the competition, which was disappointing, but now that's in the past, and we're focusing on winning it this year.
I think we have no further questions. Congratulations with the victory. Congratulations with the man of the match performance, and good luck next week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yep. Okay, welcome, Robin, captain of La Hulpe. Thanks for joining us after the game.
Thank you for having me.
What's your first reaction after the game? And make sure you hold the mic close enough that the crowd can hear you.
Well, first reaction is exactly what I told the guys. I wish that we won. Obviously, the result, the score, is not what I was expecting. I don't think it's what any of us expected. We should have scored a couple times. We should have prevented some of their tries. So, yeah, it's like a mixed opinion. We had a good first half. The second half was not that great. So yeah, there's like some stuff that we have to improve definitely for this season, and other stuff. I think the defense was great in the first half. So there's like mixed opinion. Like there's some good stuff that we have to change, and we'll work on that this week and for the rest of the season.
So indeed, I think the first half defensive performance was very impressive because Hilversum had a lot of ball, but every time you managed to escape. We had the impression that when you had possession in the first half, You kicked a lot of ball away, or your team kicked a lot of ball away. Was that a strategy, or should have you played with more ball in hand?
Well, I have to give props to Hilversum because they did a great job staying in our half of the field. So it was like a lot of pressure on us. So we did what we had to do in defense, but every time we got the ball back, it was like so much pressure on us that we just decided to kick it out. And yeah, it was like just a decision that we had to make because obviously we don't want to stay in our half of the field. So we just want to kick it and just play on their half of it. But they were good at just getting back at us and getting back in our half of the field. So it was very tiring because playing defense, nobody likes it obviously. But we did a great job doing it. And when we went back in the changing room at the half, I told the guys, okay, we did good. They're going to be frustrated because they can't score, so we're doing a good job. But I told the guys we have to score first, and Hilversum scored first, so I think that was like a turning point of the game.
Yeah, exactly, and then you went into the second half, first try of Hilversum, but then we thought the reaction of your team was quite strongly. Again, you started playing ball in hand, and then you created some real danger.
Yeah, what I thought is like we were not really good at creating opportunities. It was more like we took advantage of their mistakes. So that's not really what we're looking for in like the game plan, and we want to be more organized because obviously we don't want to just use their mistakes. We want to create our opportunities. So yeah, we were like trying to get out there, and we spent a little more time in their half of the field, and we entered their 22 a couple of times, but it wasn't enough to score. And as I said, like a couple of times we had a good opportunities when we had touchline line out on their 5 meters, and both times they defended well enough that we didn't even manage to score. So that's kind of frustrating for us.
We're 2 games into this BeNeCup. Yep. What is your impression of the BeNeCup? Do you like the concept?
Yeah, we love it. Obviously, it's a little harder because we start the season earlier than we've always done. So we have to adaptate our game and pick up the pace faster than we used to do it. So, but I think yeah, it's great. We really didn't know what to expect coming to this format of a tournament, and it's great to play other teams that we're not used to play because we're just so used to play the same teams over and over again in the Belgian Championship. So it's really great to meet like other teams from other countries, and it's just great for us. And also I think we're going to use a lot of what we learn through these games for the championship this season. So we're really enjoying it, and these guys are really putting good work and like giving us a good game. So it's great.
Next week it's the 3rd game of the BeNeCup, but also the 1st game of the Boverdien League. Yep. You will play against Soigny. Mm-hmm. It will be a totally different game, or what do you expect?
Yeah, I think it's totally different because we knew that the 2 first games were for the BeNeCup, but this season our aim, our goal is really to win the championship. So obviously we wanted to win those 2 first games, and we wish that we did win it. But coming like this next following weekend, playing Soigny at home, we know that it's like we don't have any more excuse. That's what I told the guys. We're gonna play for the championship, and now we have no excuse to lose that game. We know Soigny. They've had 2 games before. We've had 2 games before. Now we should be ready for this season. So next week we're gonna give it all and hope for the win. Yeah.
You say you should be ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think obviously those 2 first games were very helpful for us because we got to focus on what we had to improve and what worked well. So those 2 first games really helped us. And next week, definitely we will be ready. The BeNeCup is like different format, so we had to give a certain amount of players. We lost some of the guys because some of the guys got like fractures here and injuries there. So yeah, we have to mix up the players that are allowed to play and are still eligible and are still healthy. So that's something that we have to work on. But definitely, I think today we showed that we were ready in the first half. It's just the second half. Now we learned that we have to just get back out there and just give it all the first 5 minutes of the second half, because we just left Hilversum alone, and they just like pounded us, and they just scored first, and that was the turning point. So we know that next weekend we'll have to make that effort of coming in the second half ready and just as strong as we did in the first half.
Yeah. But I think you can be very proud of your defensive performance during this game.
Thank
You very much for your time. Good luck with the first game next week, and thanks for your time.
Thank
and
you.
We'll leave you to grab some beers.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And so joining us now will be the coach of Hilversum, Marcus.
How you doing?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we start, Marcus, because we had a small chat before the interview, apparently you hold some world record in rugby.
Yes, so I played for the national team of Cyprus, and yeah, we got a world record a few
Which
years
one?
ago. So the most consecutive wins. But bear in mind we were playing countries like Slovakia and countries that people from New Zealand or Australia have never heard of. So, but it's something. And once in an interview, Steve Hansen actually said Cyprus have the world record. So, well, I'll hold that. I'll hold that forever until then. So.
You got recognition.
Yeah, that's it. That's
well
it.
deserved.
Coming back to the match of today,
Yeah.
what is your general feeling after the performance of your team?
I couldn't be more proud of my team. You know, I watched the game last week with Tahoy, our rivals, and I also heard the captain's interview. And I know his mindset was to be unbeaten this season at home, and for us to come with the mentality of how much it means to them to be unbeaten at home, and to come away with a win is really a great team performance in my opinion. We came with 20 players and not 23. To make sure that we gutted it out, and we did. So honestly, I really can't be more proud of these guys today. So I'm really happy.
We saw a little bit a difference between the first half and the second half. Is it something you said during halftime?
Maybe.
What did you say?
So look, we knew we could break them down. We really did, but we got a little bit impatient in the first half, and our skills let us down. And we needed to really focus in the second half because, let's not take away, they're a good team, you know. They were in the final last year. So if we give them a chance, then they will do it. So we made sure that when we had our chances, we had to convert them more. And we had really good impact off the bench. So we stepped it up, but they also knew that if they didn't, then I would be on them. So it was good. We really stepped up, and I was really happy.
Indeed, first half with a very physical game in the first half.
Yeah.
Good defensive performance for La Hulpe. I think you got the most part of the possession. And then in the second half, what was the key moment? Where did you were able to break them down?
I think a key moment for us was when we realized that we really had them in the scrum. And I think it's mentally difficult to defend a team when you know the scrum is coming in hard. And I think in the corner down here, when we really kept pushing, and then we got the score in the end. And we make it a team effort to make sure that we congratulate everyone on a try like that. Because even the backs didn't score it, but we were there to make sure we appreciated the forwards. And I say this game is so much about respect. And I go out there playing for respect of my teammates every day. And to know that your teammates appreciate your efforts and your respect really lifts you. And if you're lifted like that, then I think it's a great mindset to have. And I think it took us to the 80th minute with 3 scores in the end.
So 2 wins in the BeNeCup.
Yep.
A big game next week, last game of the group stage, but also first game of your domestic competition.
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
I mean, look, we lost to this team in the final recently, and they're a very good team as well. So we know we have to put in a performance, if not better than this, just as good. So we've taken it a week at a time, and we've earned the right to play to earn the right to play in the final. So we know it's going to be big. And what I need to make sure is our guys don't take the game for granted. It's big and they want payback, but we have to be patient at the same time. So we know what's in front of us, but we're really looking forward to the challenge and hopefully bring it away.
As a coach, how do you approach the concept of the BeNeCup? So big competition with a lot of big teams you need to play just before your own competition.
I think it's a great initiative. I really do. I think it takes a lot of courage from the 2 unions to come together, and I really testament and congratulations to everybody who was a part of this great initiative, because this is only going to make everybody better, more hungry, and I think it will increase the level of the national team. And in my opinion, I'm not Dutch, you're neighbours, you know, and I always think you should look out for each other in these scenarios. If a war was to happen tomorrow, you'd be on the same side. So we're progressing both nations.
Let's hope not.
maybe. We're progressing both nations. The club competition is great. So I really congratulate everybody who was involved in this and thank them at the same time, because this is the new challenge for us and this is a part of history, and I'm really proud and happy to be a part of this.
We've seen Rugby Club Hilversum was very confident today.
They look confident for the coming few months. What are the ambitions for the coming years for Rugby Club Hilversum?
Yes, that's really what we set. You know, sometimes people get away from, okay, the BeNeCup's coming, let's win that, let's try win this. You know, I don't like playing for one season. You need to have a backbone. So this is my 4th season as coach. I've really changed the mindset of this team and the attitude, and this is now the real season where I expected us to hit our peak. So the plan is obviously the same, make sure we can get the best out of ourselves. But again, we know more competition is coming, and we know that everybody needs to step up. So I'm planning further ahead in this scenario. I know I've got a young team, a couple of old guys out there today, including myself. But I'm trying to build towards something, and that's a legacy at the same time. We have a great mindset at the club. You're looking after the shirt that you're wearing for the next guy to come in. Leave it behind with pride, and that's what we're about at the moment. So it's a good mindset to have, and we're going in the right place.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
thank you very much for your reaction, and congratulations with the win today.
Yes,
good luck next
much.
week, and hopefully we see you again in the final of the BeNeCup.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
So you heard the captain, the coach of Hilversum, while we're waiting for the coach of La Hulpe to join us
He's coming.
for last reaction. And indeed, he's shaking hands with the coach of Hilversum, and he's joining us right now. He should come up now. Welcome. Hi.
Welcome.
The coach of La Hulpe.
Yes.
First reaction, coach.
Good game, tough game. Good practice for the boys to get the season started. So all in all, yeah, positive stuff.
We saw a very big first half defensively from your side. Are you happy with the defense today?
Yeah, well, that was the good point, was the defense on first half. We didn't have too many attacking balls, so we had to concentrate on the defense. We didn't have a full line today. Some guys are still on holidays after exams, so the scrummaging was a bit hard on the second half. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, it was a good practice for defense.
Where does it go wrong in attack? Because the second game in the BeNeCup without a try, although there's a lot of opportunities, but it's always right at the end where it doesn't work. What do you think is missing for your team?
Well, the first thing that's missing is practice. It's a bit. My analysis on the competition it's the only weak point is that it's a bit early for the Belgian clubs. I think that's one of the reasons why the Belgian clubs aren't performing that well in the cup. I think would it be a bit later in the season or even a few weeks later, it would be better. We have a lot of players who are still students, so last week was a bit tough on us because we had some guys who were absent for exams, and then they all need a leave of absence, so they have a few guys on holidays. Yeah, so I think one of the reasons it's a bit early for us, while our Dutch friends are more ready than us at this time. So there's a big difference there. The reason why we don't have enough attacking balls is because, well, today mainly, I think we could have gone some help on the turnovers, which, you know, I saw things a bit differently, and we didn't have them, so we had no good attacking balls. And with the set piece, we're not quite ready yet. We're going to work on that this week to get ready for next week. It's tough to accumulate the game.
Because next week it's the third game of the BeNeCup, but also the first game of the Bofferding League. You play at home against Soigny. Are you ready to get a win next week?
Well, are we ready? Mentally, yes. We'll see on the pitch next week. That was a bit the plan. I mean, we knew it was going to be tough. We had a tough draw, having the Dutch champions and vice champions. So we knew it was going to be hard. Although we wanted to play with the players we had, we knew this was a good preparation for the first game of the Belgian Championship. So that's our main goal now, is to get ready for next week and have a win against Soigny here.
Coming back to the Belgian competition, What are the ambitions of La Hulpe for this season, for the Bofferding League?
Well, for the last 8-9 years, we've every year we've had the objectives of going slightly higher than the season before. So last year we were in final and we lost by 7 points. So if we want to do better, we know
You
what
become champion in Belgium.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will have to do.
Maybe a last question. Do you see a big difference between rugby in Belgium and rugby in the Netherlands, having played 2 games against the Dutch team?
Well, it's a bit difficult. I think we had 2 very strong teams. I think there is a slight difference of philosophy with the teams. We see a lot of foreign players who are playing. So I think that the Dutch are a bit more in line with a almost semi-pro championship. I don't know how the other clubs are, but the first 2 clubs that we had are like that, which is close to a bit what Dendermonde is having. And I think maybe it's where we'll have to evolve to. It's a reflection that Belgium's clubs will need to have. But on the other hand, I think that if we had the competition at the end of the season, I'm pretty sure that the games would be tighter and maybe would go more the Belgian way as well. So it's still a question mark on that end. Unfortunately, just if we look at the 2 games, yeah, I would say that the Dutch clubs are at a higher level at this point. We need to see in the future years how things evolve.
Apart from the timing of the BeNeCup competition, the BeNeCup itself, do you think it's a great idea to meet the Dutch teams?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why we when we were invited to do the competition, I think all the clubs were up to it. I think we see it as an opportunity to play high-level games. So I think the initiative is very good. I just think that maybe in the future years we need to have a reflection on how things went, what can be done. I think they're thinking of evolving to a BeNe League instead of a BeNeCup, which I think would be easier for everybody because it's a very short competition here. And high-level standard games every week is a good thing for everybody, I think.
I think we can only agree. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck for the game of next week and for the start of the season. And I hope that you can achieve your ambitions and becoming champion of Belgium. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Olivier, we heard the reactions from the coaches and from the captains. Second weekend of the BeNeCup. What are your thoughts?
I'm a happy man. We saw some 2 exciting games. Again, if we talk to the trainers, to the players, they're all excited about the performance and also how the competition is going. Next week it will be a slight difference because they will meet domestic teams. Yeah. But anyway, we're up for another 2 rounds. 3rd round next Saturday, and then the week after the great final. Where it's going to be held, I don't know, Michiel. Yeah. Is it going to be Brussels? Is it going to be Amsterdam?
I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, so it has been the second week, and I think we have enjoyed, again, another game at a very high level. I think this competition has really starting to prove its worth. We saw a very tight first half with a score of 0-0 after a very big defensive performance of La Hulpe. Afterwards, Hilversum found a way through, made 3 tries, and they're now leading Group A with 7 points, or even 8 points. I'm mistaking myself. 8 points. So there's a big chance we'll see them in the final. I think we can close here. I hope to see you next week, and otherwise maybe I'll even see you in the final if one of the Belgian teams can manage to get the group win.
I hope so. Thank you.
So very happy that that we could have you here watching the game with us, and we hope to see you as well for the following games. Thank you very much.